The state of emergency in Sri Lanka has nearly crippled its tourism industry. The small island nation is heavily dependent on forex revenues from tourists, and as this ground report from Colombo by our reporter Ashutosh Mishra shows, the area is not the best tourist destination right now.
Sri Lanka has some of the best beaches in the region. The waves are a surfer's paradise. The sightseeing attractions, a tourist magnet. Just not these days. Widespread protests have occurred across the nation following an economic meltdown. Spiraling prices, empty shelves in grocery stores, fuel running out at petrol pumps, extended blackouts because the government has no diesel and gas to power electricity generation. The end result is tourists are vacating their hotels and leaving. This couple from England had planned a 15-day vacation in Sri Lanka, but just a few days in, they are packing their bags.
It's a mix of the power cuts, the curfews. Even last night to check into this hotel, this road was blocked off because of the protests, and it was very difficult to get in. I think it just makes the situation here very hard for us as tourists, but I'm sure even harder for people living here.
I think there's a lot of uncertainty as well. There's not a lot on social media, and people back home, they don't really know what's going on either. So it was just kind of a decision we made after being out in the street, seeing what was going on.
Before the pandemic and the 2019 Easter bombing in Sri Lanka, which claimed 269 lives, including those of 45 foreign nationals, tourism accounted for nearly 5% of the island's GDP. In 2018, tourists brought in more than $5.5 billion. The amount fell a little in 2019 before plunging to about $1 billion in 2020. In 2021, Sri Lanka earned just $634 million from tourism. The empty chairs in hotel restaurants is clear evidence of how dire the situation is. Occupancy rates in Colombo hotels have plunged. Tourists are cancelling their reservations.
Somehow we had our stock for the 3-4 days, but after that we are having the problem. Because no guests want to stay in the non-AC room. Resort is still running fine. But city hotel, we are suffering because of that problem, and we are receiving so many cancellations these days.
Now I see this entire restaurant mostly looks like deserted, almost barely few tourists.
Exactly. Normally this in the breakfast time, you can see now it's the breakfast time, we are full normally. In the free of hours in the April month, we are full. Now you can see the no guests are inside.
Sri Lanka has always been a favourite with Indian tourists because of its proximity, favourable foreign exchange rate and lower prices. However, these factors are no longer in play.
Travel agents, the tourists, they are cancelling their bookings, and of course because of the uncertainty that is growing in Sri Lanka, that is forcing the tourists, because they are apprehensive about the shortage of fuel, the shortage of food items, shortage of essentials. Moreover, the protests happen all over places. There are traffic jam, chaos-like situation, and of course the emergency curfew that we are seeing all over is now putting the just reviving tourism industry, the hospitality industry, yet again in turmoil. With this ground report in Colombo, I'm Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.